Hello friends, this is the Cryptonian taking a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently at 28,400. We can see that we are running into resistance here. Taking a look at the market, we can see that the market is pretty much running into some selling pressure. And we see that Bitcoin only up 3.6% for the week here, is now flat today. Tuesdays are supposed to be one of the strongest days for price increases whenever the bulls are in control. However, we're running into some overextended levels, and I'll explain that on the chart as well. Taking a look at Ethereum, Ethereum is pretty much flat. Last 24 hours down 2%. BNB up 1.3% for the 7-day period, but down 1.6% for the 24-hour period. So we can start seeing selling take place across the altcoin market. And now there are some coins that are still up for the 7-day period, like Solana up 8.2% for the 7-day period, putting in a lot of strength this past week. Cardano pretty much flat, down 2% for the 24-hour period. Tron up 2.3%. Tone coin up 3.4%, 6.2% for the 24-hour period, 3.4 for the week. So we can see that we're pretty much flat today and even selling off today. So the question is the rally over? And there's only select coins that are putting in large gains. OKB is up 6.9% for the week, 4.3% for the last 24-hour period. But when you take a look at the top 100, it's pretty much lackluster. Caspa up 13% for the 7-day period, up 5.7% for the 24-hour period. But again, like I said, the majority of these coins are showing mixed results. We have some that are doing okay, but the reality is we're starting to see 24-hour losses. This shows that there's selling taking place. A little bit of profit taking. The question is, are we going to move higher? Well, it depends on Bitcoin. When we take a look at Bitcoin on the daily, let's take a look at Bitcoin on the daily and see where we are as far as structure goes. We can see here that we are currently into this bearish area of control, where we see this is the golden pocket for the bears. We did have a consolidation here at this bottom, and then we've been going up ever since with some higher lows, which is good news. However, these ascending channels have a tendency to break down. That's what we're in. We just broke back into the ascending channel. We did break down and then had an impulse back up, and that's because of that news, that fake news that came out on Cointelegraph that made the market pump like this, right? Now, this was due to an employee ignoring or not knowing. I imagine he was ignoring the protocol for vetting and clarifying whether the information is correct. He ignored it, and he posted this news article on Cointelegraph saying that the ETF was approved. BlackRock's ETF was approved, and the market went nuts, went up to 30K, and sharply sold off again. So was it manipulation? Could have been. Was it on purpose? Probably. There was a person that made 2.2 million on a couple million on Rollbit. So it was probably on purpose, right? So that being said, we are up against strong resistance here, and the question is, will we get through it? Well, when we take a look at the chart, we are extended. We have these red dots. These red dots show that we are overextended on the RSI. And what has happened in the past when we get to this point? Well, we can see we have the red dots on the RSI. We are overextended. And then look at our volume. right? I have this Cryptonian volume tool that I created, and it's very, very helpful in seeing the trends with volume. And so we can see here that once we were overheated, overextended on the RSI, we then sold off and had a correction, and that's shown here. We can also see that type of behavior here. We were overextended on the RSI, and we were in the red zone for the volume, and then we sold down here on price as we distributed and sold on the volume of Bitcoin. So whenever it looks like whenever we are overextended on the RSI, we run into the bears, or we run into selling, and there's extra supply on the market, and that causes a sell off and a price retreat down to a support level. Now we can see here we had the support on our breakout line, this diagonal resistance line. We broke above it earlier here, and then we came back to test it here. Now we are currently looking at the same setup, the same overextended RSI values here. We can see the red dots, and because we went up so strong and so fast to that 30K over the last few days, that created an RSI overextended rally. And so we can see here on our volume we are overextended as well. We're in the red zone for our volume. What I'm going to be looking for here, and this is critical, this is critical for the medium term, not long term, okay? Possibly long term, but more so in the short term and the medium term, what we're going to see is probably some type of selling take place, and then I'm looking for consolidation here and then a move higher. And that's going to tell us that 30K, 31K is on the table. If we see some selling take place here and we start coming down, putting pressure on that 27,500 area, that's going to be critical. That area, 27,500, I would actually say 27,500 down to 27,000 is going to be a very critical area. And the reason is we need to see whether this last higher low is going to hold. Now remember, a uptrend is a series of higher lows and higher highs, right? So if we cannot hang on to that 27,000 line, which is down here, then we will not put in a higher low, and that will break the structure. That will break the trend, the uptrend. Now you can see that this is a channel that was broken, but we broke back into it because of that news. That was fake news. So what else is there to propel Bitcoin forward and onward and upward? That is the question. Now we did have the CME information coming in today, and this is critical too. Let's take a look here. We had the retail sales month over month come in. You can see here previous was 0.8. The forecast was much lower, 0.3. We came in strong, 0.7. We came in hot. And so what that means is that not much of a change in the retail sales month over month. Retail sales remain strong. What does that mean? That means probably the Fed is not going to pivot. They're not going to change. They're going to hold the interest rates where they are. Taking a look at the CME group, we can see that the interest rates that the market is pricing in right now, 88% chance that the Fed will hold interest rates between 5.25% and 5.5%. And then 11% chance that the Fed will actually increase the interest rate. So we can see that the market really is not changing their sentiment. They're not changing their perspective. They do believe that the Fed is going to maintain interest rates, and a small percentage actually believe that the Fed will increase interest rates because of the retail sales coming in hot. Not to mention, on top of that, we do have gasoline. Gasoline is a large part of inflation. And Lena Petrova, she had a very good, it's a short video, and she explains a little bit of the what the Fed interest rate information means, and also she touches on the oil and touches on fuel prices, which is a part of the inflation equation and is plays into the Fed's decision whether they're going to cut rates or not. And she talks about that. It's a good video, and I posted that here on my Twitter X account. You can see that there. And basically, she makes this argument that the Fed probably will not pivot and possibly will then increase because of the strong retail sales and the fuel prices. And then when we put that in conjunction with this information that we are in the bear zone, we are overheated on the RSI, the next move is down for Bitcoin, in my opinion. I believe that we're probably going to be going sideways here, and then we'll make another attempt to move higher, and we may even move a little bit higher, but eventually we're gonna have a pullback. We're gonna start selling down. We're gonna see this do this. The volume tool, we'll start to see some selling take place, and then we'll have to analyze. We'll have to look at the charts and see where we are in relation to that 27,000, 27,500 level. We need to see how much selling will take place here, and we need to see where the support is and where the price comes down to if we make a higher high in relation to this last high here. If we break that low, 26,200, that's going to be critical. Okay, so it's a waiting game, and I think that's the reason why we're seeing the market pretty much stall at this point, and we're seeing mixed results on the entire market, like for example on CoinGecko. We have seen some strength over the last week, actually the last couple weeks, and some are up for the last week. There's a mixed results though, and we can see that only select coins are up for the last week, and we can see that there are other coins that are down for the last week and even selling off over the last 24 hours. So once Bitcoin starts to correct, if Bitcoin starts to find selling pressure here, then that is going to put a lot of pressure on the market, and you're going to see the market go down pretty strongly as far as the altcoins go. Bitcoin is king, and Bitcoin does determine where the market goes, and so we have to pay attention to Bitcoin. Taking a look at the statistics here, we can see that RSI is 70, okay, and so that is fairly strong, very strong at this point. You can see that it's trying to squeeze up into this bearish golden pocket. The EMA trend is bullish, so currently right now everything looks good. We are bullish, okay. However, what happens from here is critical, and it's going to be very important to watch and see what type of selling takes place over the next few weeks, okay, and over the next few days, especially in this area, because if we put in a bull flag with consolidation and then start to move higher, then we could hit that 30K level. But if we can't push through here, because remember, on the daily, we're in that bearish control zone, which is the golden pocket for the bears. Then if we can't get by that, then most likely this is going to be a failure. It's going to be a lower high, and then we could even see a retest of that 25K. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, and let's just wait, be patient, and let the market come to us and tell us what it wants to do. And so that's patience is very important when it comes to markets. You have to have patience. You don't want to chase, because if you were chasing this, you would already be in a loss. And like I said, when we take a look at previous points in history, when we get to that hot overbought RSI, overextended RSI here, we can see that we always recently have always sold down, right? We can see that. We came in hot here on the volume, we sold off. There was profit taking. Came in hot here, we sold off. That was profit taking. Came in hot here, sold off. And so we would expect the same thing here. Coming in hot here, very hot here actually, and then a sell down. And so we need to see where the price is going to find support as we are seeing that distribution or that profit taking. So that's going to be critical. We need to stay above 27,000, and if we go below that, then we are probably going to start struggling, and it's going to be risky to be in the markets at that time. So congratulations to everyone who is in Bitcoin. You're doing well. Bitcoin is up 3.6% for the week, but let's see what happens. When we take a look at the statistics to the side here, we can see that we're in extension. We're in expansion. So this move is not over yet, although I do believe that it will end soon. We are not in reversal yet, and but we are below the daily pivot. So we are seeing a little bit of weakness take place here, and that's because we had such a huge push higher and then coming back down, and that area where we were rejected from, that's going to actually skew the statistics a little bit to the weaker side. So, but we'll wait and see what happens. The volume node point of control is down here, and so the volume node control zone is 26,600, or actually 26,500. So if we go below 26,500, we could see added selling pressure, and we could then see a risk of downside momentum, and we could actually lose the breakout here. So we have to be very careful. But anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I don't want to make this video too long. Actually, really quick on the daily RSI. Let's take a look at that. We are up against the bearish golden pocket, and we will expect a lot of bears to come in, start pressuring the price and dumping extra supply on the market to push the price down. RSI 63 is, it's pretty strong right now, so we'll have to wait and see what happens from here. The EMA trend is bullish, DMA trend is bullish, everything is bullish. We are in contraction though, so it looks like on the daily this move is over, and we are in reversal. So I'm expecting, like I said before, I'm expecting sideways consolidation. I'm not expecting any kind of strong move higher here. I'm expecting some type of consolidation, and probably a fade lower, a little bit of fade lower in price, maybe 27,800, 27,900, and then another try to the upside. And if we get rejected, then I would expect some selling pressure to take place. So there you have it, friends. Take care. I hope you're having a great week, and let's be patient, see what the markets present to us. And but right now Bitcoin is bullish. market is mixed, and there's a lot of coins out there that are starting to sell off. So be careful out there. Please give the video a like and subscribe if this information is important to you. And remember, this is not investment advice. Take care. We'll see you next time.